Guys, it's Chris Mom, and today I thought I would do a Valentine's Day look using my favorite products this month. Well, kind of just my favorite products in general, things that I keep kind of going back to. And so yeah, let's get started. So today we're going to do a Valentine's look using all of my current favorite products. First we're going to do our eyes and then we'll do our foundation. All right, and I've been using the Real Norman Dual Action Concealer for my eyes, for my primer, and I seem to be liking that. It is a little dry, but I do like it. I do feel like it cancels everything out. All right, so the color the palette we're gonna go into first is that Profusion Eye and Cheek palette. I still am grabbing this a lot. Just really like this palette. The only thing again that I don't like is all of the kick up and what it leaves over. So again, not using a pretty shirt, but yeah, I like this palette a lot. And we're actually going to go into some of the blush colors today first. We're going to go into the Bashful blush, and we're going to use that as our transition. Kick off any of that extra. I have done my second set of Botox for migraines, and I did ask the doctor to kind of leave this area alone, so the mobility in my eyebrows are finally coming back. It's funny, I know a lot of women do get that, so they don't have the 11 there or the creasing, but when you have such expressive eyebrows and you're so used to it, when it goes away, it is kind of disconcerting because you look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, that's not me. Alrighty, so we're gonna put this all over today. And I have to say, I do not like these colors for blushes, but they have been making really pretty eye looks. All right, and then the second color we're gonna go into is that Great blush. And we're gonna kind of build that up in the crease. Now what I like about these is the luminescent in them. They are a little on the satiny side, so you can get away with that on the mature eyes. And typically I would tell you not to put matte over shimmer. I would tell you to put matte down then shimmer, but with the color palette that we're using today, it's gonna be okay because we're staying within the same color hue, so it's not gonna get a muddy effect. All right, now we're gonna switch over to the Modern Renaissance palette. This is a palette that I will buy again. I just love the colors in this. I'm sure you're all familiar with it. But again, just love this palette. I have had so much use out of it, and it's just, I love the formula in this one. Okay, so we're actually going to dip into the two colors. We're going to dip into Love Letter and Venetian Red. And we're still using that same brush because we're staying in those same colors. We're not switching colors up. And we're gonna put that, again, kind of build that up in that crease right here. As you can see, I'm not tugging. I'm just lightly washing on that. And that's what I like about really good shadows. You're not having to pull and push a lot. I have been trying that Revolution palette a couple more times, and I just find that it's just a pain to blend. I mean, you literally just have to keep blending, 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 and get a little bit more vigorous with it. And I personally don't like to do that. Whereas this, you can see it's just oh wow, I just can't speak. Effortlessly going on. Okay, now we're actually gonna go back into the Profusion palette, and we're gonna pick up a little bit of that color Tease, just a tiny little bit of that. And tap that off, and we're just gonna put that right in this area right here. And see that with that color that's in there, that purple, the undertone of that is just nice enough to go with those reds and not make it muddy looking. And when I do this, I pat it down and then I make circles, and then I kind of go back and forth. So just trying to soften it and blend it in. It's not the dominant color of our eye look. We want those reds and pinks to be the dominant color. But sometimes you need a little help with those to kind of make them look a little bit deeper. Right. And we're actually going to take the same brush and we're going to go into that color tease, tap it off, and we're going to smoke out our waterline with it. And again, this is kind of why I always put my foundation on last, because, you know, say I got a little bit, it went down a little bit too much, I can go in there and clean that up with my foundation, and kind of why I do that here. Now we are going to switch brushes. I'm going to close that Eye and Cheek palette real quick. And then I'm going to get another pencil brush. And I'm going to go into just the color Love Letter. And I'm going to tap into it. And just lightly tap in. And I'm going to take that all the way over. So we're going to build on that. We're going to take it all the way over. Looking good. Now, it is a little crazy. We're at that crazy stage, but everything will come together, I promise. All right, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a gold, and I'm going to I'm going to get a packer brush. This is what I consider a packer brush. And I'm going to go in, again, to the Modern Renaissance palette, and I'm going to go into the color Primavera. And I'm going to really tap that on, and I'm going to color that just in this lid area. I'm going to just press that on. The next color we're going to be using for our eyeliner today is the Clinique Quick Liner for Eyes in the color Dark Chocolate. I've been using this. I had never used Clinique eyeliners, and someone actually gave this to me. And I have like a kind of a love-hate relationship with Clinique. There's some products from Clinique that I just absolutely love, and then there's some that I'm just like, ugh. I think it's overpriced sometimes. But this is actually, I've really liked this. So we're gonna just use that, and we're gonna go right into that lash line like we always do. Making our little dashes, because on our mature eyes, that helps blend it out better. Now this is a little dry, I'm not gonna lie. It's not as creamy as the Marc Jacob liners, which I absolutely love. But it smudges out well, and it gets under here really well and doesn't irritate my eyes. All right, and now we're going to move into our Hourglass foundation. Again, this is more full coverage than I typically use, but this is for a date night, and I do love this foundation. If you have dry skin, mature skin, so far this has been my holy grail as far as foundations go for that. And it's full coverage, but yet I don't feel it on my skin. And that's one of my things that I just can't stand about full coverage makeup, is that feeling of it on my skin. And as you can see, I have very sensitive skin, so if there's any kind of weird products, my skin will react to it, and it does not react to this. And I do already have my primer and everything down. My primer is, as usual, my Merle Norman 24 karat gold face firming primer. Not sponsored. All right, so we're just gonna kind of put, and I find with this, I don't have to use a concealer most of the time, so I do like that. And I also have found that it definitely likes a brush over the Beauty Blender. And as you can see, it's pretty full coverage. You can still see a little bit of my melasma through there. But if I went back with a second swipe, which is what a lot of people do, you could really cover that up. But as you guys know, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with a little bit of my natural skin color coming through. It does not bother me. Okay, so, and now let's do some blush. I have been back using the Wet n Wild Color Icon in Pearlescent Pink. This is just a kind of peachy, it's as close to NARS Orgasm that I've kind of found as a dupe. But I like the peach undertone in it. And we're just gonna kind of, and it's just a nice wash of color. Blends in really well. It's not too much. It just gives a nice flush, which you guys know I like. Beautiful color. Okay, and we're actually going to contour a little bit today. So we're gonna get a clean brush. We're gonna go in our Tartist Prolo palette. We're gonna use the color Sculpt. I've been liking a firmer brush with using that. I found a little bit of firmer brush seems to blend it a little bit better than a softer blush brush. And this is an old brush. I got this from Mary Kay many, many years ago, but it's actually a pretty good brush. All right. Let's see, what else do we have left? Oh, we gotta do our brows. Brow pencil, still using that NYX Micro Brow. Really like it, and it has not dried out like a lot of other brow pencils that I have used. It's really pretty. And for our highlight color, we are going to use the color Vermeer. So again, just kind of showing you guys, you can use your palette to do pretty much everything you need to do. You could actually even use this palette to do your cheek color. You could do this palette to do your highlight color. This warm taupe in here, I've actually used it on my brows, and it actually has done a really good color because taupe is typically a universal color for most people and most skin tones, and so I like it a lot. All right, we are going to use our nice buffy blendy brush. Oh wait, no, you know what? Yeah, we'll use that. And I'm going to go into that color Vermeer. Try not to get it too much under your eye, because it definitely will sit in all those fine lines and wrinkles. Our lip color today is going to be Merle Norman Lip Pencil Plus in the color Carnation Pink. And it does have the liner on one side and the color on the other. I'm going to kind of just fill my lip in with the liner as well. And I do already have a lip balm on my lip. I have been using the Glossier lip balm. I really, really like this. I wear it a lot at night, and I find that when I wake up in the morning, my lips just look nice and moisturized. Okay, and here's our look, guys. I hope you like it. It's a nice Valentine's look. It is age appropriate, nice and shimmery, but not over shimmery. And like I said, I am really back into using the Hourglass foundation. Just really, really like it a lot. And I do feel like it does well on my skin. So happy Valentine's Day, and we will see you guys on Friday. God bless.